Hello everyone. In this video I will be making a maxi skirt with pockets because I love pockets. For this look I used a vibrant rayon fabric. Details on where you can purchase this fabric can be found on my blog. Alright, so what you're going to need is your fabric, some coordinating thread, you're going to need some measuring tape, you'll need your sewing pins, a seam ripper, you'll need some elastic, you'll need some scissors, a ruler, you'll need a fabric marking utensil, you'll need the pocket pattern piece. Alright, so to determine how much fabric you're going to want to buy, you're going to want to measure your hips. You're going to take that measurement, multiply it times 2. Then once you have that, you want to divide that number by 36. You'll get that minus 2.2. So I'm going to round mine down and I'm going to end up I bought 2 yards. Alrighty, so what you want to do is get your fabric and fold it in half. So when I do mine, I like to have my salvage to salvage up top, and then I like to have my salvage to salvage down here. And this I have my fabric on the fold here, and then my salvage, then my raw edge is along that part. So what you want to do is take your measuring tape and you want to take your measurement, whatever it was from your belly button down. You want to take it, so for me that was 45 inches. So I'm going to find 45 inches and I'm going to make a marking. Then I'm going to move it over some more, keeping it at the edge, marking down 45 inches. Okay, now that you have marked all the way across, we are now going to connect the dots. I am using my yardstick. So I'm just marking all the way over using my fabric marking tool. Then next you want to take your scissors and you want to cut along that line. Okay, so now that we've cut off the excess, this is our skirt lengthwise. What you want to do is you want to press your iron along the fold. I've already done that. So now that it's pressed along the fold, we're going to cut it in half so we have 2 panels for our skirt. So I'm going to open mine up. And right where my line is for where I pressed, I'm going to go ahead and cut along that line. Okay, now using your leftover fabric, you want to cut out 4 pocket pieces. I'm going to cut 1 here first and then 1 here. Alright, on your pattern piece, you want to make sure you cut a notch here and a notch here. So just want to cut into that a little bit. Alright, so now you should have 2 rectangular panels and 4 pockets. Let's go ahead and attach our pockets to our panels. Okay, now working with one of the long panels, I have the selvage edge up top here, and then I have my raw edge down here. You want to take your ruler and you want to measure down 2 inches. I'm just going to make a small marking. This is going to let me know where to start my pocket. So I made a little marking there. Now you're going to take one of your pocket pieces and you're going to lay them right sides together. So lining up the edge of that pocket piece with the mark of 2 inches that you made. So now that I have my right sides facing right sides, and I have the edge of my dot that I made, I'm just going to now pin the pocket in place. Going to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, starting at the top of the pocket here, gonna line that up with the edge. So I got that lined up. This on, back stitch. To press this going outwards. You're gonna press it going that way. So with the right side of one of them facing up, you want to take the other panel and you want to lay them right sides together. Okay, now with the right side facing the right side, you want to grab your pins and you're going to pin all the way down. Alright, so then on that pocket piece, remember we made 2 clippings. We had one here and we had another one down here. You want to find those clippings and you want to put a pin just like that. You want to find the other one and put a pin facing that way. So when we get ready to sew, we're going to sew from all the way from the bottom. We're going to sew up until we get to that first notch. We're going to bring it all the way around. We're going to stop here. Then to close up our pocket, we're going to start up here and sew all the way down until we get to this pin. Alright, go ahead and pin the other side the same exact way and we'll take it to our machine. Now starting at the bottom of our skirt, go ahead and lower your needle, and I'm using 1/2 inch seam allowance. Just going to start sewing, back stitch, and sew all the way up Okay, now I'm getting closer to my pocket. So I'm going to sew up. And we're going to sew all the way up until that pin where we made that first I'm going to lower my needle. I'm going to raise up the presser foot. Alright, now we are going to sew down until we get to this pin using 1/2 inch seam allowance. Alright, now you want to press your side seams where you sewed everything together, and make sure that you pin your pocket one going towards the front this way, and then you want to make sure that your other pocket piece so this is the other pocket. Make sure you pin it so that it's going this way. Okay, now with this is the top edge of the skirt and the wrong side is facing up. You want to grab your seam gauge, and what we want to do is fold over the top part of our skirt 2 inches. So I've already done mine. So you want to mark where that is, 2 inches, and you would take your iron and you press. Alright, so then you would do that the whole way around, making sure that it's 2 inches and you press down. So after it's nice and pressed out, this is the casing for our elastic. So go ahead and use the seam gauge to do that. Press it down and we'll go ahead and sew this. Alright, before we begin sewing, go ahead and mark a starting point and a stopping point for your elastic, because we're going to need this space in between to insert the elastic somewhere. Alright, so now I have the starting point with my pin. Okay, you want to make sure that this edge is lined up with the presser foot. And we're going to sew all the way around, keeping this edge lined up. Okay. Now I'm going to stop at my stopping point, next stitch. Alright, next grab your elastic and grab your, this, and you want to put this at the edge, and you want to find the opening that you left, and you're going to insert it, and you're going to fill that pin in there. And what you want to do is push that pin through and pull. Alright, so now we have both pieces of elastic coming out. We're going to take our pin off. And we're going to overlap these just like this. And using a zigzag stitch, we're going to stitch this together. I'm getting ready to sew this down. I'm going to line up the edge of my elastic with the edge of my presser foot. Put that down. Then you want to back stitch. Alright, now you can go ahead and start separating, getting that elastic all in there. And now we want to close this up. So make sure you're not sewing on the elastic. Where that opening is, go ahead and make sure your elastic is out of the way. I like to even pin mine down so it won't get in my way. Make sure you change it back to straight. Alright, now you just want to distribute your gathers nice and neatly. Alright, so working with the hem of our garment, you can take your seam gauge and put it at a 1/2 inch, and you can do a 1/2 inch seam all the way, 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. Make sure you press that down. Alright, after you have yours all nice and pressed, we're going to sew the hem. So what I like to do is line mine up with the edge. So I have it lined up with the presser foot. Alright, now you can take this to your iron and press it out. Alright everyone, this concludes the tutorial. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future tutorials. And also check out my blog and other social media outlets for more pictures and other DIY projects. And comment below if you have any questions. Until next time, doses.